All right, the Super Bowl is almost here, and today, of course, we talked to a three-time Super Bowl winner. Welcome into the Sporting News Studios. I'm Tom Vandervoort, and we are talking Hot Reads, your weekly look at the NFL with Hall of Fame quarterback and three-time Super Bowl champion Troy Aikman. And Troy, I want to take you back down memory lane a little bit before we talk about this particular game and think back to your first Super Bowl and just what was kind of going through your mind and your emotions as you ran onto the field for that game.
Well, you kind of hit it on the head there, Tom. Before every game, whether regular season or postseason games, I would get, pretty amped up for the game and, to get the butterflies and things of that nature. And surprisingly, before the first Super Bowl, the Saturday before the game, I felt real relaxed, real confident and comfortable. And the night before the game, I slept great. I'd read a lot of stories about quarterbacks that didn't sleep well the night before the game. That wasn't the case for me. And then at the pregame meal and the bus ride heading over to the stadium, everything was really, very calm, more so than any other game I'd been a part of, and I was happy about that since this was obviously such a huge game. And it wasn't until the pregame introductions, our offense was introduced that day, and when they introduced my name and I ran out of the tunnel, it was really the first time it hit me of the magnitude of the game. And I think the pageantry and the intensity that was in the air and all that went with that was really something unlike anything I had experienced before. And it took a good quarter for me to finally kind of settle into that ball game.
And was there something that happened? Was there a hit? A lot of guys seem to talk about getting a big hit the first time. Or was there any key to your performance to handling the nerves that you felt when you ran out of the tunnel?
Yeah, well, we got off to a tough start. We went 3 and out. We couldn't get lined. We were the youngest team in the league, and so it wasn't just me that was experiencing that. I mean, we were not getting lined up. I had Michael Irvin opened on a sideline route. The first throw of the game, I air-mailed him by about 20 yards. I mean, it wasn't even close. And then we had a punt that was blocked, and it really had the makings of a blowout. It ultimately was in our favor, but it had the makings of a blowout early, against us. But we had a 3rd and long, about a 3rd and 12, 3rd and 14, that I completed a route to Michael Irvin. And that was the pass that kind of got me going a little bit and at least allowed me to settle in, a little bit better than where I had been earlier in that game.
When you look back at that game, are there plays that really stand out to you as memorable moments or the things that you remember most from that football game?
There's plays. I mean, I had 4 touchdown passes in that game. I remember all of those. I remember the defensive plays that we were able to make. Our defense had 9 takeaways in that ball game. So there were a lot of things to celebrate, a lot of things to get excited about. But what I really remember when I think back to that first Super Bowl, the memory that comes to mind for me is when we knew that we had clinched victory, coming over to the sidelines and celebrating with my teammates, seeing the smiles on their faces, knowing that just 4 years earlier, my rookie season in 1989, we were the worst team in football. We only won 1 game. So it was a big turnaround in a short period of time, something that really wasn't done at that time. In today's game, we see that fairly often, but you didn't see that at the time. So it was a pretty historic turnaround in such a short period of time, and knowing that a lot of players there on that team were being told that we could never win with them, and yet here we were on top of the football world, hoisting up the Lombardi Trophy.
And having won that game, are there ways in which that victory and being a Super Bowl champion changed you as a player, as a person? What does it mean really to win that football game?
Well, I think it impacts every player that is a part of a world championship, but I think even more so for a quarterback, especially for a quarterback that was taken in the first round. And as you know, I was the first overall pick in '89, and you're not picked in that position to go throw for 4,000 yards or to throw for 40 touchdowns and whatever. I mean, you're brought in to an organization with that pick with one thing in mind, and that is to win a world championship. And so, for me to be able to do that in my 4th season and know that even though it sounds cliche, hey, they can never take this away from you, they could never take away the fact that I proved or I accomplished what they brought me in to do. And that was a great relief for me, knowing that I had that behind me no matter whatever happened throughout the rest of my career. And unfortunately, I was able to go on and win a couple more. But it was a great feeling to know that I had achieved something that the organization paid me to do.
Listen, man, I want to thank you so much for all your time, the hours of time you spent with us this year. It's been fantastic. The insights are always great. I appreciate it, and we'll talk to you next season.
Hey, Tom, I really enjoyed it. Look forward to next year.